I had a thought. You know what I did this morning? I put up a bird feeder, you know, one of those big tubes, and I hung it between two trees because there was no tree that had was not the right configuration to hang a bird feeder from. Anyway, so instead I took a cane, I don't know what kind of a tree it is, kind of gnarled. Maybe it was an ironwood. I don't know, but it's or twisty, not gnarled. Anyway, so I slid the loop of the bird feeder onto it, and then I put the stick going across into the fork of two trees. Isn't that cool? I'm just really thrilled that I did that. I thought that was really awesome. Anyway, I had another thought, something very easy and important I was going to tell you, and ta-da, it's gone. I don't know when it's coming back. I mean, you could wait. We could just all wait. We could think about something else. I know. Talk amongst yourselves while I think of it. Now all I can think about is the fact that the camera is on, watching me while I'm thinking about it. So it makes me a little bit self-conscious, and I'm not really thinking about figuring out what it was I was going to tell you, which I forgot. Anyway, how about if that's enough for now? Just bear with me and I'll have another thought. They come along every now and then. There goes a school bus. And you know what that means. Now I have to tell you about when I was a school bus driver. Yes. And I taught the children all these songs. Their favorite was ABCs. A, B, C. And I made them sing like a choir. You know, those kids at the back of the bus that thought they were too old to sing ABCs. Well, not when Nancy today is the bus driver. And I had so many hats, and I wore a different hat with every single outfit. I had a lot of fun. I had about 50 hats. And over time, they've all decomposed, and now they've gone. Anyway, so there was Nancy today, the bus driver, and I'd get them singing. And they'd sing and sing, and we'd drive, and they'd sing, and then, what do you want to sing now? And they'd say, ABCs. It was so cute. It was kindergarten, junior kindergarten to grade 8. So, of course, the grade 8s, they did not want anything to do with such childish things. I mean, they could remember which seat they sat on when they were little. And now they've graduated, and there's no looking back, right? So, oh look, some of the water is open. Oh, those are Canada geese. I saw a YouTube video of some very distant place, and there were Canada geese there. I don't know where it was, but it was just nowhere local. I don't think it was North America. It was somewhere else. Anyway, those Canada geese, they're not Canadian geese. Although it is fun to pull into the parking lot and look at them, and when someone mentions something, you could say, I'm just here to check on my geese. Because I'm from Canada. Because they'll all look at me like, what do you mean to check on your geese? I'll have to add, because I'm from Canada. Notice my license plate. Yeah, some people you really have to tell them everything. Some people, they just get it. Have you noticed on television or movies or something, the good movies, they assumed you get it. They don't say it twice and repeat it back in another way. They just figure you got it. Anyway, so there was a hitchhiker, and it was a man, and his countenance was dark, so I didn't want to stop and pick him up. And because there's many other cars, there's many trucks. All the men seem to drive pickup trucks. It's rare that you see a man driving a car out here. The women drive the cars. The men drive the trucks. Yep, indeed. That's the way it is out here in the boonies. I used to make videos about how to do stuff and, not how, you know, just showing you, I'm going to do this. Want to come and watch? And that's sort of a how-to video, I guess. Except then, you know, somebody will say to me in the comments, they'll say, wait a minute, you didn't tell me how to do it. You didn't tell me much of anything. And so, I guess I have to not label them how to. Well, you see, there's tutorial, and, you know, things that are a tutorial, you should label tutorial, I suppose. Anyway, it is what it is, and I am what I am, and I really don't care what anybody thinks. I do care what people think. But mostly, it doesn't matter because I don't know them. I don't see them. They're not in my little world. And since the internet is just pretend, right? So we're all good. My goodness, the wind is blowing me off the road. Did you see that? We're having a windstorm. This is where there's drifting usually. Whoa. Can you hear that? Blowing and drifting snow. If it weren't all frozen together. Did you realize the date? Well, I forgot what the date is, but it was the 15th a while ago. It was the 16th a while ago. It's already been the 16th. I don't know, maybe it's the 17th or the 18th. I really don't know what it is, but anyway, we got about 8 inches of snow, and then we got rain that soaked all 8 inches, and it became 8 inches of slush, and then overnight it froze. Oh, and there was a couple layers of freezing rain in there, which soaked all the way through, or it soaked the top bit, you know, it was like a quarter inch, whatever, a small bit, 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, and then it soaked in and froze that night, and it was totally block ice, or as they say in New York, black ice, black ice. And I don't understand how they say that, and I said, excuse me, black ice? No, I asked for a block of ice, and they said black ice. That's how that went down. Back in the day. I should tell you stories. I used to go to Tallulah Gorge when I was young with Mary. We would go together. Mary was my partner in crime, you know, like we hung out and we just, what are those two women that hang out together? And they ran off and they ended up at a cliff and that was the end of them. Anyway, they were very funny. That's how these things end up, Nancy, you know. You can't just be funny. You have to be realistic. You have to do everything in moderation. And in order. Yeah. I've tried doing things in order. Sometimes it's really fun. But you know, for me, cleaning up after you do something, and that's one job, and cleaning up is a separate job, and they're not the same job. You're doing something, and then you stop doing something, and then you're cleaning up. And I like to do my cleaning up all at once. Clean everything at once. Well, clean a bit at once, and then maybe a bit more. But I'm not one to tidy up as soon as I do something. But you know, my daughter is very tidy, and so perhaps her influence, you know, knowing that she could drop in at any moment. I never had one of those in my life. I lived in Canada. My parents, and they lived in Georgia, and my brothers and sisters were in California and Georgia, and I was very far away. Nobody, and my husband's parents were gone. They were far away in Holland, both of them, and I had nobody that showed up to let me know that my house was not up to standard. Nobody. Of course, now on YouTube, I get it now. People tell me. But now I actually have to keep it cleaner because of the peer pressure of my daughter coming over. What do you think about that? I think that's very interesting. I also think I'm going a little too fast. These fields are, the lowlands are all flooded up. Flooded up. Okay, I think I'm going to say goodbye now. Because now there are cars on the road. Okay, bye.